Imagine this. You're standing on a beach. Warm, soft sand under your feet. Palm trees moving slowly in the wind. The ocean in front of you. Calm, white, blue. No noise, no rush, just space. The kind of place where people dream about when they say they want peace. You feel the sun on your skin, a light breeze on your face. Everything around you says this is the moment. And yet, something feels off. You look around, there's no one there. Nothing demanding your attention. This should be the easiest place in the world to relax. But you can't. Your body is there. Your mind is not. You try to enjoy it. You tell yourself to calm down, to be present. But instead, your thoughts start racing. What you still have to do, what you forgot, what you should be further ahead with by now. And suddenly, even paradise feels uncomfortable. That's the moment most people don't understand. Because the problem isn't stress and it's not lack of rest. It's something deeper. You're not overwhelmed, you're overstimulated. And there's a difference most people never learn to recognize. Overwhelm comes from too much responsibility. Overstimulation comes from too little control. Your mind isn't tired because life is demanding. It's tired because it never gets to finish anything. You consume more than you complete. You react more than you decide. You absorb more than you direct. And over time, that imbalance destroys your ability to be present. Even in the most beautiful places on earth. Let me say something uncomfortable. If you can't relax on a quiet beach, the problem isn't your schedule. It's your relationship with your attention. Most people blame dopamine. They talk about dopamine detoxes, digital minimalism, quitting social media. That's not wrong, but it's incomplete. Because dopamine isn't the enemy. Unconscious consumption is. Your brain was never designed for endless input without purpose. It was designed for effort, resolutions, recovery, actions, competition, rest. But look at how most people live. They start things and abandon them. They open loops and never close them. They scroll, switch, jump, react all day. And then they wonder why their mind feels noisy, even when nothing is happening. Here's what no one tells you. A mental overload isn't created by doing too much. It's created by not deciding what actually matters for you. When everything feels important, nothing truly is. And your brain can't rest in that environment. This is why silence feels uncomfortable for so many people. Not because they are broken. Just because silence exposes the chaos they've been avoiding. Think back to that beach. The reason it felt uncomfortable wasn't the environment. It was the absence of distraction. For the first time, there was nowhere to escape. No stimulation to hide behind. Just you and the unstructured mind. And that's when people start saying things like, I need more motivation. I need a reset. I need to get away. But distance doesn't fix disorder. You can't change locations 100 times. If your attention is undisciplined, your mind will follow you everywhere. Here's another uncomfortable truth. Most people don't suffer from mental overload. They suffer from mental submission. Submission to notifications. Submission to urgency that isn't theirs. Submission to noise they never choose. Every time you let your attention get pulled away without permission, you reinforce a habit. The habit of reacting instead of leading. And over time, that habit becomes identity. You start seeing yourself as scattered, as unfocused, as tired, not realizing you trained yourself into that state. This is why productivity advice fails, because it tries to add more action to a system that lacks authority. You don't need to do more. You don't need to decide better. Clarity doesn't come from rest alone. It comes from competition, from closing loops, from knowing exactly what serves your focus and what doesn't. Let me make this practical for you. If you want your mind to calm down, stop asking how to relax. Start asking what you're avoiding to finish. One task, one decision, one simple conversation. Unfinished effort is the loudest noise in your head. This is why people feel better after hard, focused work. Not because work is fun, but because competition creates silence. Here's the paradox. Mental clarity feels boring at first, because chaos is stimulating. Chaos makes you feel busy, important, needed. Clarity removes that illusion, and suddenly you're face to face with yourself. That's what most people resist. So they stay overstimulated. They call it stress. They call it burnout. They call it modern life. But it's really a lack of self-command. Let me flip the perspective. What if your mind isn't broken? What if it's simply refusing to cooperate with a life that lacks direction? A life where nothing is chosen deliberately. A life where attention is spent, not invested. You don't need to delete every app. You don't need to escape to the society. You don't need to rebuild authority over your attention. Quietly, practically, without drama. That starts with one decision per day. One thing that matters to you. And finish it without interruption. No multitasking, no background noises, no constant checking. Just effort and competition. Your brain doesn't need more stimulation. It needs proof. Proof that focus leads somewhere. Proof that effort has an endpoint. Proof that you are still in charge. When that happens, something interesting occurs. Your mind starts to trust you again. And when the mind trusts leadership, it relaxes. Not because life is easy, but because it's ordered. Mental overload isn't your enemy. It's a signal. A signal that your attention has been scattered for too long. And signals aren't meant to be ignored. They are meant to be answered. If this video made you uncomfortable, that's a good sign. It means something landed, not because it was loud, but because it was honest. This space here exists for people who want command over their time, over their focus, over their direction. If that's you, stay here. Not for motivation, not for noise, but for clarity.